Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, play Slay the Spire. We've gotten to the top of the mountain. We have won. All we gotta do is plant the flag. Victory. Victory. You know what? Boom. Boom. See ya never. Okay, keeps it on for everybody. That's fair. We gotta win as the Silent. So I hope you like the Silent. We're gonna be playing a bunch as him. As her. As the defensive lord. What do I want as the Silent? Well, what worked well for us on the previous two victories is the Ironclad and the Defect. Great cards. Good economy, like an ability to actually play the cards. Snecko Eye as the Defect, just a lot of energy relics as the Ironclad. Good cards. Good cards, lots of energy. Papa John's. Who would have thought it would just be that easy? Let's keep that in mind. I want to specifically construct this deck to conquer all challenges. First floor, something to hit back at the Hexaghost. A big turn to kill the slime boss. You know, consistent block against the Guardian. You know, I want to be able to kill the elites. I want a big turn for the Knobgoblin. Several big damage turns, ideally. I want AoE to be able to take out the Obelisks. Lagavulin, we usually don't struggle too much there, but anyway. This kind of sucks. This is usually not that good, and here could give us a free elite, but I don't think that's that advantageous, to be honest. We could choose a card. There's no guarantee that it would be a rare, but I think given that there's a... Well, let me think about this, because if there's a 4 elite path... You know what? I may actually just try enemies in your next 3 combats. I was thinking about going boss relic, but I do think the Silent probably has the weakest starting relic. I'm going to take Deflect. Even though it's not offense, I think it's just a great 0-cost card. And this is unfortunate because I really do want this. But I think we need damage early. So do me a favor and toss me a Masterful Stab. And, I think that's fine for now, because we probably won't hit any more shops. Maybe I do want to take something like a Slice for 0. I want to have enough offense to take these guys out pretty easily. Transform a basic defend. Became an unload, which I think is actually fantastic. Our offense should be relatively okay for now. And actually, one of the things I wanted to talk about is a well-laid plans. Thank God. It opens up the door. I really would love to have that, but a well-laid plans opens up the door for us to be able to take cards that actually could really help us against second floor elites, like Piercing Whale, for example. You have to admit the Unload Sneaky Strike does seem like it could work, but... With only 2 discardable cards? But we do have a well-laid plans. Am I willing to make... I think it's too situational, honestly. I think we'll hope to get a dexterity up at some point, and we'll go with the dodge and roll. So we did get a free elite. Well-laid plans gets twice as good, but that's not actually that meaningful, I think, early on. I think we'd rather have the double weakness. Now, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who this is. I am thinking we could maybe get to, like, you know, Runic Dodecahedron levels, but I think we want to wake this guy up for sure. I don't really care that much about Runic Dodecahedron as long as we're, like, you know, as long as we're living. Certainly, I think we have to hit him. No matter what, we're going to be discarding. Well, dodge and roll is better to play that. I guess we could hold Survivor for next turn. Just to make sure that we do have some block for next turn as well. And I think we'll feel content to play it and then hold on to strike. So we really need our big cards to come around here. Unfortunately, Masterful Stab starting to not be worth too much. But I think we're gonna get him. It's just gonna be a little... I mean, we're gonna lose more HP than I would have liked. Because Unload is definitely, like, very good. Realistically, we're unable to kill you next turn. We might just want to put up big blocks. Wow, okay, fair enough. Only taking 5. We get 2 turns to kill you now. Okay, I'm actually, like, skeptical that we're gonna get there. Because we're gonna be doing 2 damage per strike. An unload is worth 10. Thank God. Okay, we didn't lose that much HP there, but it definitely could have been better. Certainly, I think a Caltrops, it doesn't even... this is the best boss, but I don't think it really matters even who the boss is there, just because... Yo, Molten Egg, so good. Just because for certain, we need to be able to, you know, kill those second floor encounters that are so bad. Particularly the book, but also, you know, the birds. I think... we have no AoE right now. I think we just gotta hopefully get to our best damage dealing cards, basically. So we are gonna take damage, but Masterful Stab will still kill you for 1. Maybe we can get lucky enough to put up enough block for it to remain playable. It is an overkill. This is a slightly lower overkill, so sure. The thing is, I do like Caltrops, but I think Masterful Stab is definitely a little bit more important when it comes to, you know, just being able to take these enemies out and to be able to play it for 1. For 2 is not the end of the world. It's like drawing 2 strikes, which is, to be honest, not really that bad right now. 2 strikes and 1 card. But, you know, in general, it's not what we're gonna want for ourselves long term. Could've, and this is a debatable thing, I think. We could have held on to a defend and then taken 1 damage, but had 5 for the next turn. In the end, it didn't matter because we're taking 1 this turn instead. Nah, that's alright. You can take it. So this might look like it's going badly, and I don't really think it's going super well. But we're not taking very much damage. We're taking 17 damage over the course of the whole fight. It's honestly not that bad. Pair, okay. And honestly, an upgraded glass knife is pretty much the confidence I need to give me a shot at taking out this elite. I was gonna mention, actually, that, you know, for my personal standpoint, it felt like maybe we didn't want to fight the elite, just because I didn't like our odds of staying alive. But now, I kind of think that that upgraded glass knife, it might give me what I need. It's a really tough choice. I think we could use some more defense. All 3 cards are pretty good. This is really good, and this is really good. I think leg sweep is our go-to. The fact that it stacks weakness is really important, I think. So, sure, I mean, that's huge already. The fact that glass knife is upgraded via Molten Egg, honestly, is basically like getting a free rest on top of everything that we already had going for ourselves. We definitely do not need another leg sweep. I will take another Masterful Stab. So now 1/11 of our deck is potentially in a little bit of a dangerous position. If we start to take multiple hits over the course of a single fight, which will happen, without a doubt, but I'll stand by that till the end of days, dude. Glass knife, please. No glass knife. Unfortunate, for sure. So we're guaranteed to draw a glass knife next turn. We're going to take a hit 24. Okay, so he's dead next turn. We're going to be at like 30-something HP. I think given that we have a Caltrops, we don't need to rest before the Hexaghost fight. And I think a heal hook, you know, the draw from that is pretty incredible. Let's go for the Caltrops. I think it also helps us the most on the second floor. Trying to take a more analytical approach here. It is really tempting to have 4 extra block next turn. I think I'm going to do that just to stay, like, I want to make sure Masterful Stab stays as 0 as long as is possible. Now, I think, like, immediately we're going to have it cost 1, which is unfortunate, but... You know, we didn't draw either of our weakness-enabling cards in the first 2 turns. In the first 3 turns, I mean. It's pretty unfortunate, but not that bad. And Glass Knife, apparently, like, it exists exclusively at the bottom of our deck. Not that I'm bitter or anything. You gotta hit him with the leg sweep on this turn. Then you hold Glass Knife. Would have been nice to get it out before the shuffle, but... Okay, this is what you want, really. Heel hook, slice. Obviously, the Masterful Stabs are pretty much garbage now, but... We will hold it, just in case. I mean, it's not getting any better. Yeah, I mean, it costs 12. I mean, we're just better off playing other stuff, unfortunately. I still think we're totally fine, by the way. We just need to have a good blocking turn on the turn in which this guy uses his big attacks. Otherwise, like, Caltrops is really gonna do the heavy lifting for us, thankfully. But I definitely do not think we're going... Oh, his next turn is his big turn, huh? And we don't know what we're drawing. Very interesting. Well, I don't think we can afford to drop leg sweep, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to be a little bit conservative. Sure, we take 4 damage off of this, but we get to hold a leg sweep in hand. We were hoping for a little bit more weakness, but life goes on. So we're going to be at 7 damage. It's actually not that... Or 7 HP. It's actually not that safe. He's at 49, though. It costs us 8... to do Masterful Stab, which at this point is unlikely. This is why we want more decks for the future. We don't need to take him too much further down. Thank you for not drawing a burn. I appreciate it a great deal. So he's doing 12 damage. If we play this, we're at 16. We will die. So, thankfully, we do have the Explosive Potion. Played it real close there, but that's okay. Ghost in a Jar, very helpful. I think you certainly look to this as a burstable option. And we really wanted energy, but did not get it. The curses just scare the crap out of me. But this is, like, unlikely to lead to success. So I think, again, it's 820. I think you look at this and you say, we barely beat that boss. Let's try to, you know, leverage what we got going for us here. None of these curses are horrible. Maybe we do want to get rid of the innateness if possible. Okay, Calipers, and actually, like, all these are pretty good, but Calipers in particular, if we can keep our block going, is very useful. So I think we do want to be a little elite heavy if possible. This is... Just trying to think. He has a few big turns. That's really the problem here. Not much. I mean, 0 AoE required, but he's got a few big turns. So we're gonna need some like dexterity scaling if possible. Calipers can help, but obviously like kunai would be maybe the best option for us. We can't really force that into the ecosystem, but I want to take a double shop path. Even if it only has 1 elite, I think removing these curses... And the more question marks, the merrier as well. Removing these curses is going to mean a lot. So this is obviously just a horrible first turn. This... Oh! I just misclicked there. We got 4 energy, so be cool. Be cool. Be cool. You're gonna burst that deflect, but I also think, I also think you pop this, just to stay out in front. In which case, you don't even need to burst it, unless it would give you letter opener, so I'd rather just play the deflect, the heel hook, and then hold burst. We do have 5 turns of frailty, so the idea is, you know, maybe we could use this, I mean, if we have to use it to burst to defend, we have to use it to burst to defend. Luckily, we didn't. Another energy potion coming back. I definitely think Piercing Wail is actually great, especially now that we have a well-laid plan so we can hold it until it's most critical. We have the same problem we have on a lot of runs, which is that we just don't have energy right now. So close. And without having a bunch of energy, I think he's gonna stop. Our ability to play cards every single turn is like highly diminished. We do have 4 energy this turn, so all we need to do is 23 damage. Start there, obviously. 16. Yo, we got there with the most expensive Masterful Stab I could afford to play. What a world. I don't think Cloak and Dagger is that... I don't think it matters here. So we're hoping some of these question marks are remove. Bag of Prep is... I mean, now we draw 9 cards turn 1. It's very nice. Oh, I gotta tell you. Don't think I'm particularly excited about this one, but let's see. Start off with something like that. 11 block. Okay, I think we're gonna pop an energy potion here. Try something along those lines. We take no damage. It is pretty unlikely that I'm gonna choose to not engage in Cowardice here. Remember, you got extra energy this turn. I gotta keep reminding myself. I do hate using it like this, but if it's gotta be done, it's gotta be done. At least we get 5 damage. I appreciate the attacks, at least. An attempt was made. It'll cost 2 next turn, but at least it does 16 damage. Yes, we could possibly, and I have been a little bit more, hold on, 20 plus 16, thank God. I've been a little bit more focused on the idea that this is like, you want to be aggressive if you want to make it out of these runs. But really, Saul's corpse explosion, and knowing we have to fight an elite, you're asking me to choose to die. So I just obviously, can't do that. I'll probably die here anyway, and that's the way of the world, 10 damage. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, I'm not disappointed in this run. I feel like, from an analytical standpoint, this is like the smartest I've ever approached a silent run. We're trying to build with like, specific constraints in mind. You know what I mean? Like, we're taking cards we need. Relics, we don't have much choice until we get to a shop. But we're taking cards that we need to take in order to have the opportunity to actually beat the enemies that we're guaranteed to face. I mean, you gotta go. 12 damage. The thing is, you also, like, gotta go. I don't know if it's worth this just for 3 block this turn and 3 block next turn when you're unlikely to be blocking next turn or attacking next turn anyway. I always knew this one was going to be real tight. This is just an absolutely awful turn. It's like my whole methodology. We definitely should have stuck a defend. That was just a terrible play. But my whole methodology here was just, if we can stay alive, good. But yeah, it's over, dude. An attempt was made. That's all right. We'll start again as the silent. I don't think we had an amazing start on this run. We did have a lot of some of these subscriber names, dude. We did have a lot of relics. Yeah, I mean, that's that. Let's try random boss relic, and we start with 4 energy. Okay. With 4 energy, I definitely feel like you want to be as aggro as possible. It seems like There's only a double elite path, unfortunately. But, you never know, right? Like, maybe some of these question marks can have elites as well, like the one where you look for loot. So it is nice to have 4 energy. But what has me really excited is the idea that at the end of this floor, if it all goes well... Geez, this has been terrible draw. It just demonstrates how good 4 energy actually is at making sure that we took 0 there. Who's the boss? I'm gonna actually take acrobatics. Let's get weird. The real exciting thing for me is the idea that, hey, we actually could get to... Wow. 5 energy by the end of the first floor. I don't even know what a second floor looks like if you have 5 energy. It scares me. It excites me, but it scares me. Now, it's obvious... Don't think that I forgot, you know? The dream scenario for me is still to pick up damage. I mean, we need damage to be able to reliably kill these elites. We need 12 damage here. Got it. Dude, acrobatics for 1 energy is helping us have the best 3 energy turn we could ask for. Again, I love footwork, but I think an all-out attack is pretty much necessary. And then I'm almost looking at this as like, it's a good transform opportunity, but I'm just going to hit you with my real straight sauce. I think there's enough garbage cards in the silent toolbox that I don't want to transform anything into like a into a grand finale or a nightmare. Not necessarily bad cards, but certainly I would say cards I don't fully understand. So I went for this simple upgrade. We've added something to this deck. It's just a little sparse right now. I wouldn't deny that, dude. But hey, we've added some important enablers as well. I do hate... well, I'm learning, you know what, is that 4 energy is great and all. And, I mean, it's extremely great, in fact. But what we would really like to see is more draw so that we can actually play 3 or 4 cards per turn that we actually really like. Had a few turns so far where we've been like, you know, we draw 5 cards and still don't have enough block. This was almost a pretty good example right there. Still, 47 HP is fine. Liquid Bronze is pretty useful. Definitely toss me a Sucker Punch, and then let's get down to brass tacks. It's probably the enemy we were happiest to be fighting. I think we'll not play Acrobatics. I'll take the 6 damage. Now, we will get hit on this turn. Quite badly. We had extra energy because you got more energy. Eggman, that's your one mistake for this video, okay? I'd rather eat the daisies. Plus, we got 4 energy. There you go. It's really all about making all that attack come back around as quickly as possible. I think most likely the best way to take this guy out, or these guys out, is to shoot for you in like 3 turns. Actually, it'll probably take longer than that based on where we're at right now. It's okay. Honestly, I can do this turn till the cows come home. This doesn't bother me at all. This starts to bother me. We can do 29 damage. The acrobatics is going to be highly clutch. We're taking 10 this turn. I don't think that's up in the air. I think that's your turn. Okay, we didn't draw acrobatics, but it's actually fine. He's not doing that much to us here. We'll get acrobatics on our next turn. Hopefully smooth out whatever draw we got going on. Didn't end up mattering. Definitely need HP, though. Specifically, what do we need? With 4 energy, I think Choke gives us the high damage turns we would consider most prudent. We gotta be real cautious here, though. I'm not actually, like, super concerned yet. But it is fair to say a little bit of bad draw could put us in a rough spot. I definitely, like, footwork I think is mission critical. Okay, Mob Bank. Gonna hit him with the quick rest. That only takes us to 36 HP. You know, I'm a believer in the power of this run. But I think we have to swerve these elites. I think if we don't swerve them, we'll die. All I can say on this one is, you know, from my estimation, trust me, I would love to have fought them. And, you know, why not throw caution to the wind? Well, because I think because we already have an energy relic, and in my opinion, some pretty good cards. I am going to take that prepared, mostly for choke synergy. Sorry. I don't feel like we can do it. I don't want to take too much of a risk for what I perceive to be pretty low value. There's a lot of great stuff here. I think these cards all warrant some pretty serious upgrading. I will not. And I will rest. So this is the most cowardly approach I've taken on this floor, but I think it sets us up for a pretty freaking solid floor 2, provided we can make it through this guy, which I'm going to level with you, I don't think is necessarily guaranteed. Okay, we got some good stuff here. So I think you start with footwork, then you play acrobatics. Let's just dump strike. We'll probably hold choke for a big combo turn in the future. And then sucker punch will save us a lot here. Plus, I mean, well, I guess 2 turns of weakness is not really worth that much, but sorry, we take 18 damage. Now you got to think, do you really want this to be your big turn? We'll do 12. This will be 15. 24. This will split him. It would be nice, perhaps, to wait one more turn. I know this looks pretty dumb, but I think that if you wait for this turn, we're a little happier with where we finish this one off at. 2 enemies with 54. I think we were going to split him around like the 60s, so I actually don't think that was that bad. But this, I mean, we got to have some big turns to get around these guys, especially on a turn like this where they're both attacking. 18 damage will take you to 32. It's not enough to split you. I think we'd like to see what we draw into. Now I'm like, okay. 27 damage will take you down to 23. Could we live? If I can get to 30, we can definitely live. If we try something like this, keep you at 41. This blows. The only way we're getting out of this is if you get split, but you're not getting. We didn't draw any defense. All right, that's fine. We're gonna give you one more. I don't like to end a video on something like that, especially having 4 energy. That hurts. Didn't pick up enough damage. Nobody's fault but my own. My cowardice got me nothing. I still think you like this. That's obviously dangerous, but we do start with some pretty important relics. Mostly, like, Shovel and Pantograph in particular. Now, like 20% of our deck is curses, and that's gonna blow extremely hard. Gotta play him. We're gonna get rid of pain first, obviously. We're also gonna, I mean, if we weren't gonna do it before, we're definitely gonna be adding cards very quickly now, because we want to dilute the curses that are presently contributing to us being very close to death after the first fight. But there's nothing that says this couldn't make it happen. Give me a crippling cloud. I think, you know, AoE, it could be of the utmost importance. This one might be doomed. But I'm telling you, if we can get these curses out of our deck, we're not screwed. Pain in particular has got to go. Obviously, we have to rest. Like, everybody's aware. It probably was not even worth playing that, to be honest. Where are you at? 20 HP! Can you just stop? Just stop, dude. Ten attacks per fight, apparently. I think we'll take a deadly poison. Just something to get around shields. Pain absolutely has to go. And you know what? I guess we're going for a little bit of seductive poison archetype. Still pretty spooked on this run. I would love to get loot. Unfortunately, I think we're definitely gonna have to rest. Dude, Sucker Punch, toss it in here. Well, we absolutely have to rest if we're lucky enough to live, which actually seems extremely unlikely, but if we're lucky enough to live, we have to rest because we got a guaranteed elite fight. It's looking like we're gonna be starting, you know, on fairly, it's a weak start. Let's just be realistic. You're doing 21 damage. Okay, this is where you have to run your numbers, because I'm doing 8 damage to you. Neutralize deadly poison kills you, but if possible, I'd rather get the deadly poison going on you. Strike, neutralize, kills you, giving us the space for a Sucker Punch, and then go ahead. I think this will save us a turn to get that poison eye. I think it has to save us a turn. Also, we're dead. But would it have saved us a turn? I think so. All right. Sorry, from, you know, it's like David, aka Michael Fassbender, said at the start of Prometheus. Big things have small beginnings. I'll be back to keep grinding. No demoralization. Are you kidding me? After yesterday, I recorded 2 Ascension 20 victories. For now, thanks for watching. Give me your tips. I need them. And, of course, click the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya.